What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to a new subscriber for showing love to the channel. Much respect to Trae Colbert for the $30 donation. $30 donation via the Cash App. It leaves a note and it says, Too Raw drops nothing but heat and facts. Absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to try to blow smoke up people's ass, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to say something, it's at least going to be backed up with facts. I may not agree with what I got to say, but I'm going to have evidence to back up what I'm going to say. And speaking of that, let me segue into this video and thank you again for the donation to the channel, man. And all of you who support this channel, Too Raw for Sports and the LDBC. So, look, man, why doesn't Trae Young get more smoke, man? Is it because he's little? Is it because he's a small guy, so people feel, you know, less reluctant to attack him? You know, I hear this narrative about Russell Westbrook being an inefficient player, high turnover rate, you know, things like that. And I look at Trae Young and I'm like, man, why aren't people saying the same things about this guy? And it's because of the fact that, you know, hey, when you're averaging 27, 28, 30 points a game, people don't give a fuck how many turnovers you average. They don't care about that. They don't. You could put up 39 points and have 9 turnovers and nobody gives a fuck. Because they're going to look at the 39 points as, you know, overriding all of that. When in reality, the 9 turnovers are really hurting the fucking team. You know? And also, you know, it's not part of the media narrative. They're not always pushing that into people's skulls. So people aren't looking for that, as they will be the case with Russell Westbrook. But last year, Trae Young led the league in turnovers, even though you only heard one name last year, and that's Russell Westbrook, right? When you look at Trae Young, but before I get into all that, we know how he's acting like a prima donna, right? Defying the head coach, starting to display prima donna, well, not starting to, but it's getting worse with him, his prima donna attitude. The dude is delusional. This motherfucker still thinks that his fucking hair looks good. You know, motherfucker walking around looking like a real-life treasure trove. But you can't tell this dude anything with bald spots all up in his head. You know, this guy always whines about calls. Always whining about calls. He's shooting 8.5 free throw attempts per game this season and still whines about free throws. But what really gets me is the shooting. Now, he's a 90% free throw shooter this season. Remarkable. For his career, he's 87.5%. So the free throw percentage has always been there. But the turnovers are still there. They're down a little bit this year, but he's still amongst the leaders in turnovers. But it's the shooting. He's only shooting 41% from the floor this year. Only 41% from the floor and 30% from three. Draymond Green is shooting better from three-point range than Trae Young is this year. And Trae shoots a lot of them. Normally, when you shoot a lot of threes, your efficiency goes up because, hey, you're getting, you know, you're used to shooting that shot in certain situations. You're getting into a rhythm, as opposed to when you barely shoot threes. You know, you don't have a lot of practice as far as taking that shot in certain situations. So your efficiency goes down. So for Trae to only be shooting 30% from three, whereas last year he shot 46% from the floor and 38% from three, that's a massive fall off. And you wonder why the Atlanta Hawks are only 13. Well, last time I checked, they're 13-10. What's their record now? 13-10. If they don't win tonight, man, if they can't beat the Thunder. But anyway, yeah, man, Trae Young to me I've never been sold that he's a superstar. I know he puts up great numbers, but, and I know that he had that great run a couple of years ago in the playoffs, but I've just never been sold that this guy's a superstar. I saw the way that the Miami Heat shut him down last year. So I don't know. I'm just not. I've never been sold on Trae Young being like on the level of a Steph Curry. That's laughable to me. That's laughable, and especially him being 6'1" and what, $160. Whatever. This guy hasn't done enough to be walking around with the attitude that he has, man. I can't stand these players today, man. I can't stand the attitude, man, the arrogance, the prima donna shit, man. And this is why more and more fans are starting to tune out of the NBA, And without the fans, these players will be nowhere. If the fans stop watching this shit, ratings go down, revenues plummet, and then guess what happens? Motherfucker, your salaries will start plummeting. And then, shit, if things get real bad, all that guaranteed money gonna stop coming in. You have like contracts with all these stipulations, and to be honest with you, they need to start having stipulations and contracts where if you don't play an X amount of games, you forfeit some of your money. Call it the Kawhi Leonard rule or some shit, But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.